Okay, hello everyone. Today I will show you how to create free-form polyhedral shelter-like structure in SketchUp with the default, commands in the SketchUp. So to start with it, make sure that you select a meter or centimeter template from the SketchUp main screen. And what we will do basically is to create some rectangular shapes on the ground, okay, and then start moving the points to a higher level, so it's going to create that triangular shape for us to play with. I'm not going to create any dimensions, specific dimensions, but for your assignment I guess you have some dimensions, so make sure that you checked all those elements. So to start drawing my project, what I'll do is I'll go to parallel projection and then I'll go to the top view. Okay, this is my top view right now. What I will do is, just to show you how to do that, I am going to just create a real simple and small geometry to start, because it's your assignment after all. So what I will do is, as you can see, I'm just creating some rectangular shapes. The important thing in here is that make sure that all your rectangles are connected at the edges of each element. So if, for example, you do something like this will cause you a problem. So rather than doing that, make sure that you just create a rectangle for each part of the same location. So if I look at this corner, what I'll have is triangle at each side of it. So I am going to create some rectangles so we can play with them. You can see this is a problem. Okay, let's say this is the geometry that I created. Okay, as you can see right now, this whole shape is on the ground. Okay, so what I will need is that I will just make it a self-standing structure. So what I will do is I'll have my move command and I will start moving the geometry upwards. Okay, and let's say there will be an entrance to my structure in here. So make sure that you lock the blue line, so it's just going to be elevated on the blue axis, which is the height. And as you can see right now, my structure started to have a shape in the third dimension. I'll just move them randomly. Let's say it will be like this. You can make the adjustments as you wish in here, but just try to finish the whole shape while in this mode, because after you are done with the shape and you start generating the frames and stuff, you are not going to be able to play with these as we are playing it with them right now. It's going to be a little bit difficult for you to play with. So what I am doing is I'm gonna add a small flip in here on the surface. Okay, as you can see, I'm just lifting them, nothing specific. So this is a little bit much. Let's get them a little bit lower and maybe even a bit side. And I'll lift this as well. So yeah, and then I want them to you know, just go a little bit back. Okay, this is a bit problematic. So yeah, and then I'll just move them a little bit inside. This is not an easy part, so make sure that it is not, you know, collapsing on itself, because sometimes it does. And I'm just making some general adjustments right now to make my shape look a little bit better. So yeah, let's say this is my geometry. Okay, actually let's take this a little bit outside, and let's take this one a little bit inside as well, and this one too. Okay, playing with these are not easy. So as I said, just be careful while doing so, okay? So yeah, I have my geometry right now. I'll just adjust this part a little bit as well. So this is my geometry, okay? So I'll just scale this a little bit so it will actually have. Okay. Then what I will do is basically I'll just try to offset all the parts into inside so that I can create the framing of these elements. So what I do, I click on here. Oh, sorry. Let us redo the scale. Yeah. So I have my offset command. Okay, I click on it. I click on the surface, and it's completely up to you. Let us for now make 0.2 meters for each plate. Okay, I'm just gonna create these ones. 0.2. And these parts as well. Just make sure that you do not duplicate the offsetting. If you do so, probably you'll have some troubles with extruding them. So just make sure that you just make an offset on each plate once. And basically, I guess, okay. Okay, this is the tricky part. Just make it through these interior parts so that it's not gonna get confused a little. And I guess, yeah, I've just made all the triangles offsetted inside. So then what I will do is I will just delete some elements of it. Like I will try to create an opening along the surfaces. And let's say this one as well. and here these ones, and I delete them. Okay, so what I will have at the end is this kind of structure. So what we will need this time is that we will need to extrude these elements. So what I'm gonna do with that is I'll go to again to my perspective so that I'll have view on the whole structure. I'll have my push pull command and I'll start pulling them like, I don't know, 0.2. Okay, or at least let's make it 0.1. I just need a little bit of structure anyway. So here it's important that just make sure you push and pull each element. Because this structure is a mandatory part for all the plates to be standing up. Okay, these are okay, for example, if these are empty, it's easier to do, but if there is a closed part inside, just make sure that you only lift these parts, the frame itself, rather than the plate inside. Okay, and I'll have this one as well, and also this one. Okay, the important thing here is that if you try to change the geometry at any point, you need to start from scratch, because after you start pushing and pulling, it is not going to be much responsive as it was while we are creating the geometry. So there are a few missing ones as well. And this one, I guess this was the last one. Oh no, we have two more in here. So yeah, I extruded all the rectangles. Okay, and then what I will do to color all these elements is that I will select the interior parts. Okay, these ones, and then I will just make all of them, oh, there is one more, and I will just make all of them a group. Okay, and then I'll select all my shape and I'll just exclude this group that I just made from it, and I'll make another group. And after that I will just add simple colors on it. So as you can see, this is my freestanding triangulated face. Well, it doesn't have any specific length, it doesn't have any coverage area, so make sure that you have these plate which has a specific distance decided by your instructors. Okay, so this is pretty much all. And while taking your photos, like for example, if I want to take a photo from here right now, okay, let's say I will want a photo from here. Yeah, make sure that you place your camera well, and then you go to camera and say 2-point perspective, so that it is just gonna straighten up the lines. You see, these lines are all straightened up, and this axis is completely as well. Make sure that you never ever orbit the view like this. If you do, it is just going to get lost. So after you place your camera well, go again and make 2-point perspective, and just click on the main mouse button and then just, make a pan rather than orbiting, and place your view as you want, and then go to File and say Export 2D Graphic. Okay, in here, let's say the desktop, and let's say you will have a JPEG file. Go to Options. Okay, in here you have the dimensions. Okay, use view size. It is going to give you the exact pixel amount as your screen is shown in here. What you can do is you can just duplicate these numbers. Okay, so what I will want, for example, right now is like double of it, like 3000 to 1785. Okay, make sure that you have the anti-alias, so it's going to have a better quality, and you say select the better quality in here as well, and then we say okay, and we say 1, and we export it. And when we go to our desktop, as you can see, our beautiful image is here, and it's pretty high resolution one. And you can also do the same from the upper views, like again, go to Export 2D Graphics, go to Options, check the size if it's okay, and then okay, and say 2, and export it. Okay, so this is all. Good luck with your assignment.